Hey guys, it's Bliss here. Welcome back to day 2 of my Spooky Week series. In today's video, I'm talking about the true origin of Halloween. Halloween is said to originate with the ancient Gaelic festival of Samhain, but Halloween is actually linked with the Christian concepts of death and the afterlife. All Hallowtide, also called Hallowtide, All Saints Tide, or Hallowmas, and now Halloween, is the triduum encompassing the Christian observance of All Saints' Eve, All Saints' Day, and All Souls' Day, which lasts from October 31st to November 2nd. All Hallowtide is a time to remember saints, martyrs, and all faithful departed Christians. In the year 609, on May 13th, Pope Boniface IV consecrated the Pantheon at Rome to the Blessed Virgin and all the martyrs, ordering an anniversary. Around the year 800, the Germanic churches preferred the date of November 1st. All Saints' Day, being moved from May 13th to November 1st, was established for Rome by Pope Gregory III. In 835, Louis the Pious made it of obligation throughout the Frankish Empire to observe All Saints' Eve and All Saints' Day at the instigation of Gregory IV. In the British Isles, the 16th century Reformation brings about the end of the official church celebrations for All Saints' Day. In some Christian denominations, All Souls' Day, or the commemoration of all faithful departed, follows All Saints' Day. In Western Christianity, the annual celebration is held on November 2nd. Observing Christians typically remember deceased relatives on this day. In the early 11th century, the modern date of All Souls' Day was popularized by Abbot Odilo when he established it as a day for monks of Cluny and associated monasteries to pray for the souls in purgatory. Beliefs and practices associated with All Souls' Day vary widely among Christian churches and denominations. During the Middle Ages, with the development of the Hell, Purgatory, Heaven dogma, saints became intercessors, which could be called upon to help the souls of the deceased. Many of the 14th century European traditions reflect the dogma of purgatory. For example, ringing bells for the dead was believed to comfort them in their cleansing there. In the same way, lighting candles was meant to kindle a light for the souls languishing in the darkness. Out of this grew the traditions of quote-unquote going souling. Poor citizens, often children, would come knocking from door to door asking for soul cakes, bread, or fruit, which were given in honor of the dead of the household. In exchange, the beggars would say a prayer for the souls of the deceased. The sharing of soul cakes with the poor was believed to help buy the dead a bit of respite from the suffering of purgatory. The distribution of soul cakes was encouraged by the church as a way to replace the ancient practice of leaving food and wine for roaming spirits. Mumming, or mummers' plays, was also a part of this tradition. In Ireland, guising and mumming was the practice of putting on costumes, going door to door, and singing or doing folk theater for the dead in exchange for ale, food, or money. The tradition of bobbing for apples dates back to the Roman invasion of Britain, when the conquering army merged their own celebrations with traditional Celtic festivals. The Romans brought with them the apple tree, a representation of the goddess of plenty, Pomona. During an annual celebration, young unmarried people would try to bite into an apple floating in water or hanging from a string on a line. The first person to bite into the apple would be the next one to be allowed to marry. In Ireland, it is known as snapapple, and in Newfoundland and Labrador, Snap Apple Night is a synonym for Halloween. In northern England, the game is often called apple ducking or duck apple. In Scotland, this may be called duking. In 18th century Ireland, a maiden who placed the apple she bobbed under her pillow was said to dream of her future sweetheart. And what sounds like a choking hazard to me, items were hidden in food and portions of it served out at random. A person's future was foretold by the item they happened to find. For example, a ring meant marriage and a coin meant wealth. Unless the person dug it out before eating any of the food the item was hidden in, I can only imagine how many people walked away with a ring or a coin and a chipped tooth. Another form of divination, which I can only imagine was quite unpleasant, used a baked salty oatmeal bannock. The person would eat it in 3 bites, then go to bed in silence without anything to drink. This was said to result in a dream in which their future spouse offers them a drink to quench their thirst. Another involved dropping egg whites in water. The shapes foretold the number of future children the person would have. The celebration of Halloween was extremely limited in colonial New England because of the rigid Protestant belief systems there. As the beliefs and customs of different European ethnic groups and the American Indians meshed, a distinctly American version of Halloween began to emerge. Borrowing from European traditions, Americans began to dress in costumes and go house to house asking for food or money, a practice that eventually became today's trick-or-treat tradition. In the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers than about ghosts, pranks, and witchcraft. By the 1920s, Halloween had become a secular but community-centered holiday, with parades and town-wide Halloween parties as the featured entertainment. Today, Americans spend an estimated $6 billion annually on Halloween, making it the country's second largest commercial holiday after Christmas. So that's all I have for you guys for today. If you like this video, make sure to come back tomorrow for day 3 of my Spooky Week series. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.